All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have another call. It looks like it is, who's this? Crystal. Crystal?
Hi, Jay. Hi. Can you hear me?
I can. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for accepting the call. So, my name is Crystal, and this is my first time on.
Yes.
And we just joined the team this week.
Oh,
Myself and
wow.
my partner. Her name is Serena. She's probably smiling from ear to ear right now.
Serena
Um,
Williams.
Serena Williams, yes.
You know what we did? Okay, quick story, because I know this happens. It's got to happen to her every day. When we, my entire staff stopped when we saw the name because we were like, no way. Because I mean, stuff like that has happened. We've had some actors, we've had professional players of various different sports, and everybody stopped and was like, no way. And we are like, oh, okay, never mind. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, every time I sign for like RSVP stuff for us, I'm always like, not that Serena Williams, but still a
Right.
very important Serena Williams.
That's great. Yeah, I can only imagine that's a daily occurrence over there. Got it. Anyway, sorry, I distracted. Go ahead.
Sure. So as I mentioned, we're just getting started, and we're making several calls, and the last caller kind of cleared up a couple of questions that I had, but
Oh,
we're just getting started. We're trying to nail down our first rental, and we're taking different approaches. We're getting over the phone a lot of apprehension, and so we're trying to set up some appointments for the weekend to actually see the places in person.
uh,
So my question is, do you have, or do you find that you have more success when you are having the conversation in person, so people can kind of get a feel for, who you are as a person? Or do you just kind of, like you said, is it really just a numbers game and you just kind of take a stab in the dark at each approach? Or is it more about strategy and strategic approach?
got it. Okay, so this brings up a question. Now, there's two levels of our program. There's the blueprint, and then there's the mastermind. Are you at the blueprint level or the mastermind? Because this question sounds like to me you're at the blueprint. I'm not 100% certain though.
We're at the blueprint level,
Got
yeah.
it. All right, got it. No problem. The reason I say that is because at the mastermind level, one of the first things that we do is it's 6 hours with me, where we go through some of these basic tips and strategies to be more efficient with time, so that you can get closer to hitting the mark first time out. And one of those is definitely to be there in person. Trying to do this at this stage of the business. Here's the big challenge and what you're up against, Crystal. You are up against prejudice, for lack of a better word, because CNN, CBS, ABC, and others have already told, or at least preliminary educated, the landlord that you're talking to about what this business is. And the challenge is that they did a poor job of it, because they did it by saying party house, Airbnb party house down the street. So it makes it really, really challenging to do this, like I said, over the phone. When you compound that with the fact that there's a lot of educational materials out there in the real estate space that have to do with, the late night commercials. It's hard for a person who's on the other end, who's screening people, to actually say or
Hmm.
be of the mindset of, how do I know they didn't just stay up late one night and they're trying, I don't, there's a lot of things that they
Right.
know that need to be done, but what they don't know is that you know them or even intend on doing them. They don't know the blueprint and the mastermind and we exist. They don't know that there's an organization that's been out here literally training thousands of people to do this in a professional manner, right? They don't know that
Hmm.
because CBS, NBC, CNN also means constant negative news, by the way. They have not told them that, hey, you exist, right? So they make their own assumptions, and it has been very
Okay.
clear. It's usually best to, when you're on that phone, if you're making that phone, when you're on the phone, the only thing you're trying to do is get an appointment to see the place, and
Okay.
only after you're on site and during the walkthrough do we even begin to start to address a lot of what you're talking about right now. And and I know the thought can be like, well, if I did it that way, that's a lot of places. And what's really key to the whole strategy is to eliminate the places your customer isn't likely to want, simply because of who they are, etc. And there's an entire process so that you only have a targeted approach for certain locations, and ultimately what it ends up doing is putting you in a more credible position. Does that make sense?
Okay. Yes. Okay.
So yeah, that's otherwise, yeah, you're gonna spend a lot of time on the phone. Believe me, you should have seen me the first time I was going out. It was not. I was getting discouraged. I was like, man, this is crazy. It was to the point where, like, why am I doing this? I have all these other properties. I don't need to do this. It was very discouraging. And then I was speaking with actually one of our other students. Her name is Rebecca, and I told her what was going on. I was like, I think something ain't right here. And I was like, and then she said, oh, well, why are you saying that? I'm like, I don't know. I'm just trying to figure it out. I mean, and that's how we've always worked here at Cashflow Diaries. We all work very collaboratively, if I said that correctly. Anyway, so keep asking the questions, and we'll do our best to keep supporting you in every way that we can, of course.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem. No problem. If you like information like this, go ahead and hit that like button, because that tells YouTube that more entrepreneurs see us. And definitely hit the subscribe button, notification bell, so that the next time we publish more quality content like this, you can be a part. Thanks.